Happy Monday, everybody. My name is Brandon Rose, and welcome to episode 330 of the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. Every Monday, this podcast covers new game releases, the previous week's gaming news, and we all learn an Xbox-related fun fact together. This show is on YouTube and podcast services around the world, so please subscribe in your favorite and leave a review. XboxIn10.com, no numbers, is your quick source for links to all of our podcast destinations and social media profiles, which you can follow at Xbox in 10. To start, let's talk game releases. The big game out last week was Skate Early Access, and the games coming out this week include Baseless, Brews and Bastards, Endless Legends 2, Spotcat vs. the Cheddar Mafia in Asia, Forgive Me Father 2, Slime Rancher 2, Radiant Guardians of Light, Bunny Pit Stop, Edgar Poe Hidden Objects Game, Full Throttle Parking, Electronics Puzzle Lab 2, Meow Moments celebrating beats and books, Agatha Christie Death on the Nile, Endoparasitic, Mamarokun Recurse, Extremely Powerful Capybaras, Pilot Sports, Republic of Pirates, Sworn, Silent Hill F, Sonic Racing Crossworlds, EA Sports Football Club 26, Grief Like a Stray Dog, Giant Rush, My Horse Stories, Napoleon Maiden Episode 1, A Maiden Without the Word Impossible, NBA Bounce, and Pac-Man World 2 Repack. There are some new games you can now play on Game Pass and or are coming soon. So via Game Pass, you can now play Roadcraft on Cloud and Series X and S, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 on console, For the King 2 on console, Overthrown Game Preview on Series X and S, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor on Cloud PC and Series X and S, Frostpunk 2 on Cloud and Series X and S, Wild Bully Life Cloud PC and Series X and S, Hades Cloud Console and PC. On September 22nd, you can play Endless Legends 2 Game Preview on PC. September 23rd, Sworn Cloud PC and Series X and S. September 25th, Peppa Pig World Adventures Cloud PC and Series X and S, as well as Visions of Mana, Cloud PC, and Series X and S. September 30th, Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, Cloud, Console, and PC. October 7th, SOPA, Tale of the Stolen Potato on Cloud, Console, and PC. And more games coming to Game Pass Core on October 1st include City Skylines Remastered, Disney Dreamlight Valley, and Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide. The last update with Game Pass is the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 Early Access Beta, which you can jump into on October 2nd. Now it's last week's biggest news stories, and we have 4 to cover this week. Number 1, Microsoft is raising prices on Xbox consoles in the US. Again, Tom Warren at The Verge writes, Microsoft is raising the prices of its Series S and X consoles in the US next month. The Xbox Series X will be priced at $649.99 in the US starting October 3rd, up from its existing $599.99 price. The Xbox Series S will move up to $399.99, up from $379.99. Microsoft blames the price hikes on changes in the macroeconomic environment, which is a lot of words to say, tariffs. Xbox console pricing outside the US will remain the same. Thankfully, pricing for the controllers and headsets will remain the same in the US. The price raises mean Xbox Series S consoles will increase by $20, Xbox Series X consoles by $50, and the 2TB Galaxy Black Special Edition Xbox Series X is increasing by $70 all the way up to $799.99. Microsoft only just raised the prices of its Xbox products worldwide in May, with price hikes to the Series X and S consoles, controllers, and headsets. The previous price increase already bumped the Xbox Series X up by $100 and the Series S by $80, coupled with today's announcements. That means the Series X has increased in price in the US by $150 and the Series S by $100 in just 6 months. Microsoft also planned to hike the price of some of its first-party Xbox games to $80 this holiday, but then walked back those changes in July. What an unfortunate world we live in. Long gone are the days that over time console prices would go down, and we'll touch on that with our fun fact of the week. But so disappointing to see and fully live in the world that we do, in which these console prices continue to rise. Number 2, Battlefield 6 runs better on all platforms thanks to Xbox Series S optimizations. Tom West at True Achievements writes, while we generally hear horror stories about Microsoft's lower-end console, today we get to talk about a triumph as Battlefield 6 runs far better thanks to the Xbox Series S. And some rare praise for the Xbox Series S, Battlefield Studios says the console has made the, quote, whole game better and more stable, unquote, across all platforms due to the optimizations needed to stop Battlefield 6 crashing on the Series S. Thanks to those tweaks, the upcoming Xbox shooter should offer a smooth experience for everyone when it launches on Series X and S and other platforms on Friday, October 10th, 2025. I had to include that this week, as yes, as the news story mentioned, all we've heard for years is how much the Series S has held back games and impacted the performance across the board, which in many examples it has, so it's nice to get a win for how the Series S helped optimization across all of the other consoles. Number 3, Xbox is making it easier for games to implement cross-saves between console and PC. Fraser Gilbert at Pure Xbox writes, the idea of carrying your save game progress from one platform to another is becoming much more common these days, and Xbox wants to make this as simple as possible through a new innovation known as PlayFab Game Saves. As detailed on the official Microsoft website, there are loads of apparent benefits for developers with this, and titles that are shipping in the Xbox ecosystem will be able to use PlayFab Game Saves free of charge when it's rolled out. Here's an overview along with the list of benefits. Quote, we are excited to announce the public preview of PlayFab Game Saves, a new service designed to make player data management easier, more robust, and more flexible so you can deliver a frustration-free player journey, end quote. PlayFab connects player progress to your game instead of individual devices or platforms so they can continue their journey anytime from any device. Eliminates the complexity of implementing cross-platform synchronization so you can focus on delivering great gameplay. Supports online and offline play with control of transitions between those states. Minimizes the chances of version conflicts by enabling flexible game save layout with clear dependency boundaries. Helps players seamlessly transition between devices and platforms to maintain a consistent point of progression. Provides contextual cues to assist players in making informed conflict resolution and single point of progression decisions when needed. Delivers geo-aware cloud storage and fast synchronization to improve performance and reliability. Recovers players from bad state with support for version rollback coming soon. Works with Xbox-provided background uploader and title-compatible UI where available. Yes, while this is really in the weeds and definitely more for developers, I wanted to highlight this because this is the future we all need to be in going forward, because it is so nice to not have to worry about the old days where you used to have to carry your memory cards or your hard drive everywhere you went. And for someone like me and my childhood best friend growing up, when we had a top rock band save on an Xbox 360 hard drive, and we were getting out of a car, and he threw his bag on the ground, and at the bottom of the bag was the Xbox hard drive, and we lost all of our save data and our aspirations to go worldwide. How sad. But in all seriousness, when this works, it is awesome. I did this with Claire Expedition 33. I played that on my Series X, I played it through my Fire Stick, and I played it through my MetaQuest 3, all with no cross-save issues. Number 4, Battlefield 6 resolution and performance figures revealed for Series X and S. Ben Carey at Pure Xbox writes, Battlefield 6 is less than a month away, and as we near the game's upcoming launch on Xbox, developer Battlefield Studios continues to drop fresh details on the title. Among those details are all of the resolution and performance figures that the game is targeting across Xbox Series X and S. Yep, these were all discussed in a recent interview with developer Christian Bull over at IGN, right from the PS5 Pro to the Series S. We're going to keep things simple by just dropping the Xbox figures down below, and thankfully 60 FPS is a minimum across both consoles. Xbox Series X quality mode 1440p at 60 FPS, Xbox Series X performance mode 1280p up to 120 FPS, and Xbox Series S 1080p at 60 FPS. I just wanted to include these as I am very excited for Battlefield. It really does seem like this is going to be the next big thing, at least for the first month. And then it's going to be really interesting to see when Call of Duty launches in November where the player bases are at. As always, we end our show with a fun fact about Xbox, and it starts fun and gets really unfun, i.e. our first news story about the price hikes of the Xbox consoles. So let's look at all 4 generations of Xbox and what was the price at launch and the price 4.5 years later. The original Xbox, launch $299, 4.5 years later, $149. Xbox 360, price at launch $299, price 4.5 years later, $199. Xbox One, price at launch $499, price 4.5 years later, $199. Yes, one generation ago, the price dropped by $300 from launch. Xbox Series X, price at launch $499, price 4.5 years later, $599, and now $649. Xbox Series S, price at launch $299, price 4.5 years later $379, and now $399. How very sad indeed. Thank you all for listening to the Xbox in 10 podcast, your weekly source of Xbox gaming news covered in around 10 minutes. If you like the show, please subscribe on your favorite podcast service, share with your friends, leave a review, and follow on all social media at Xbox in 10. This past week, just mobile gaming, so Marvel Snap, as always, and a little bit of Pokemon Heart Gold. My name is Brandon Rose. You can follow me at Xbox Bros93. Hope you all have a great week, stay safe, and keep on gaming.